Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome to episode 11 of COVIDCASTJA. My name is Rochelle Cameron and I am your host. Today we are discussing e-commerce. So today is our e-commerce bootcamp, serious business. What a time we're in. We are at episode 11 of COVIDcast. We've dealt with so many issues over the last several weeks. We're at a time now that persons have returned to work, to physical workplaces, as the work from home order here in Jamaica has expired. There is preparation now for the opening of our borders to overseas visitors. Jamaicans, the borders are already open to Jamaicans. We are looking at a time where some businesses are still feeling the effect as in closure of their brick and mortar presence, and persons are still trying to figure out, where do I go from here? E-commerce is one of the avenues that not only allows you to sell your products and services right here in Jamaica, but it now gives you a potential for a global footprint. This is also a time where this week we had a Blackout Tuesday, and we believe that it is important for us to ensure that we are setting up our businesses in a way that they can be supported and we are in a position to spread our global footprint. So now is the time. We are joined by an exciting panel of experts. And I know some of you are thinking we have some IT experts on the line, and when we have IT experts, they're going to get all technical with me, and I will not be able to understand what to do with my business. But this is a boot camp. So this is some exercises in business to put you online. We have Stacey Hines. Stacey Hines is going to actually be joining us first. Stacey is the president of Jamaica Computer Society and founder of Epic Transformation. We also have Barrington McIntosh, CEO and global Amazon consultant of Balance Ecom Training. We have the millennial online genius, Craig Powe, CEO of Adtelligent Limited. But let me start with a proper introduction of Stacey Hines, who is a transformation strategist. So we're not quashi we're talking somebody who knows what she's doing. She's also the recently elected president of the Jamaica Computer Society, Jamaica's Technology and Digital Alliance. Stacey studied and began working in technology with Microsoft as a trainer. Don't look at how she looks, but it was over 20 years ago that she started as a trainer. She has led the development, marketing, and launch of multiple online products for global software companies, local entrepreneurs, and influencers. She's also the founder of her own company, Epic Transformation, a corporate e-learning, coaching, and leadership performance consulting company through which she will be hosting a boot camp to help you catapult your business from offline to online in guess how many weeks? 6 weeks. That course begins on June 27th. Stacey, we are so pleased to have you on our 11th episode of COVIDcast. We should have probably had you on earlier. First, now going online, we're seeing more businesses appearing in your Instagram page with sponsored ads. We're seeing delivery services that you can just go online and order your meals and they're delivered. We're seeing persons using direct payment methods. You can get my goods, I'll drop it off, and you transfer the monies to me. So I think there is a bit of confusion when we talk about e-commerce. What exactly, when we are talking about e-commerce, what area are we talking about?
Well, e-commerce, and first of all, thank you for having me. It's really great to have this conversation. Even just in the intro, it's like, oh yes, enough things to talk about, right? I don't think we can do it in an hour, but we're going to try. So yeah, e-commerce is essentially referring to any buying, selling, and trading of goods, services, and information using the internet. So e-commerce actually is more than just selling online. And I think that just wrapping our minds around the fact that it's not only the technical side, but also the business side. of transacting online, whether it is consumer to business, business to consumer, business to business. There are 6 different ways that you can conduct e-commerce, and it refers specifically to buying, selling, and trading of goods and services.
Online. So
Yes.
as our viewers, if you're just joining us, we have Stacey Hines, who is president of Jamaica Computer Society, and she is giving us the first section of our e-commerce bootcamp.
Yeah.
And she's kind of setting the stage for us. What is this e-commerce, and how do we prepare our business to actually go online for e-commerce? Because I think we need to start there, Stacey.
Yeah.
That when you are, as a small business owner, you say, I really want to launch into an e-commerce platform. Is it that all of a sudden I don't have to be thinking about the numbers, the quality of my product? Do I still have to be exercising base business principles?
Right. And that's actually a really great point, Rochelle. And I'm glad you mentioned basic business principles, because I think for the most part, when people hear about going online, they immediately think, oh, social media, right? And just having maybe a website and possibly thinking about how they can collect money. But really, when you're thinking about taking on e-commerce, it's a conversation that needs to include what is the online business model that you're going to be taking on. It's not as simple as, well, I sell jars or I sell swimsuits in a store, so now I'm just going to move all of that online and sell jars and swimsuits online. There are different business models in the online environment. And business owners and solopreneurs really need to think about what business model works best for me and for the products that I am bringing to the table. And then they can start to think about, okay, now how do I position that product? Meaning, how do I describe it? How do I sell it? How do I attract my audience? And then beyond that, it is, well, let's talk about our technology. Are we talking about digital marketing full-fledged, where we have email and we have social media and we have CRM? Or are we just taking a limited view of it and we're just focusing just on the website? And then now you move into money, because you can set up and be even very influential and still not monetize your presence online. So all of those pieces, it's a nice little puzzle fit together with creating not just an online presence, but an e-commerce platform for your business that allows it to grow and scale. Yeah.
So as you're thinking about moving your business online, and not just, so some persons will move the entire business online. Right. That's a model. There's some persons that will maintain brick and mortar presence, but still have parts, the business, the products and services available online.
Yes.
When you're thinking about it, what you're saying is that we still have to ask ourselves, does anybody want my product? Is there a demand for this product? You're still going to have a business case, because you still have to look at what your business model in this online presence is going to look like. And I think sometimes people assume that once you go online, you must make money, but you have to arrange your business in a way that you can monetize it.
Yes.
So as you're thinking about arranging your business to monetize, I think one of the base things is, how do you actually collect money? Because, and I think it's called payment gateways. How does that work?
Right. So, and I like how you just like breaking it down, right? Making it very, very simple. Love that. Okay. So a payment gateway is essentially a service, an online service that is provided by an e-commerce application or service provider. And that service provider authorizes credit card or direct payment transactioning or processing, right? So many payment gateways that we're accustomed to, like Amazon has its own payment gateway built in, right? But for an individual that is setting up their business online, they may not opt to go with an existing provider. They may opt to want to set it up from scratch. And in Jamaica in particular, you have to be really careful with how you are approaching that online environment and the payment gateways, because there are different fees that are involved in setting up a gateway. And for some Jamaicans, they may only be able to access the local payment gateways that are just now really becoming readily available. But we do cover, I mean, one of the things that you talked about was just the boot camp that that I'm creating. And the whole point of doing it is so that for Jamaican businesses, you kind of have a clear pathway to figuring out from business model all the way through to payment gateway as it relates to Jamaican businesses, which I think is a critical distinction that we need to make.
So Stacey, when you mentioned credit cards and going and utilizing payment gateways, which would also now say to me that formalizing your business and getting some structure around registration of your business, ensuring that you have TRN. Can you talk to us a little bit about business structure that one would need to consider putting in place? Because viewers, so just in case you're just joining us, we have Stacey Hines, who is president of the Jamaica Computer Society. She is also she has been a Microsoft trainer, and she is in fact one of our e-commerce gurus. June 27th, she will be launching her e-commerce bootcamp. So you're getting a taste of that today. We've talked about the initial process of your business model. We're also looking at the payment gateways, and that immediately makes you recognize that you do have to have some structure around your business. Tell us a little bit about the structure that's necessary, Stacey.
Yeah, it's really important. I think one of the things that tends to tempt us as both individuals as well as small business owners is to just kind of hop online and start, right? And it's because the internet allows you to do that. But when you start to try to monetize now, you really want to make sure that you're not doing the shortcut thing. You know, Jamaicans sometimes we like to take the efficient route, right? So you want to make sure you're not doing the shortcut thing, and you have your business structure set up properly. You don't have to get complicated with it. Right? You can be classified as an individual or a sole proprietor, and you can also be considered in that MSME, which is micro, small, medium enterprise, and that business classification. But why it's important is because when you start to get into now your tax liability, whether you're transacting locally through local gateways or even overseas, a lot of people miss that. They think that they can collect payments online and that North America or any of those tax authorities aren't tracking you. And so in order to prevent later on running into challenges of your bank accounts being audited or monies being taken from you because you're not paying the fees that are expected from these e-commerce platforms, it is highly recommended that you get your business structure set up. And it's something that I believe you can get support with from the different banks that are here, or you can reach out to an accountant just to get some basic advice. Small Business Administration or JBDC are also places where you can get advice on that. And try to set up the simplest approach first if you don't already have something in place. And then if you have something in place, you want to make sure that you're checking your structure against what is required online and seeing how you can bridge any gaps that may exist.
Yeah. So e-commerce pretty much gives us the ability to have a platform without a brick and mortar structure where we are able to sell the product, because no one is as innovative as a Jamaican. I hold steadfast to that. We are very innovative, and we tend to be importing a lot of things, and that has always been how we've operated. But we have a unique opportunity to go global through e-commerce. And we're able to go global through our products and our services. So even a service that you're offering, your e-commerce bootcamp, that would be something that could be purchased from somebody in Dubai. So as we're going through this COVID time and we're looking at the various opportunities available, what we're saying to you is that the structure that you may have had in place for how you would sell your products and services, now is a time to go back to look at the business model. Can I go e-commerce? Have I registered my business? Do I have a tax registration number? Do I have a bank account? No, it is time for me to formalize because I need to get a credit card. I need to be able to open a payment gateway because once I get these things in place, I am now able to get that business up and running. And I'm going to have a platform, Stacey, because I'm going to have to be using technology. So I do need to have a bit of comfort with technology. I can't be scared of it.
Yeah, you can't be completely afraid. And what I actually love about the way tech has advanced is that you literally have platforms that are already set up. And all you have to do is just drop in your logo and you're good to go, right? So there are very easy platforms that you can, set up for yourself. You have people that have done all the heavy lifting, and some of that is also what is going to be shared in the boot camp. And I wanted to just add one more thing. You talked about, Jamaicans and the fact that we're so innovative and creative. There is a lot of merit, a lot of value in the brand Jamaica. And I think we really underestimate how powerful just having that stamp on your page or on your website goes. And so even if you're selling a product and the product have to go through shipping and fulfillment, you can go online expert in your market and sell yourself first to sell the product. So there are just lots of different ways that we can structure the thing so that it's not difficult for you, because you can literally just say, I'm just going to use online to sell my expertise and then manage anybody buying my offline products, that way through regular distribution. So it's full of opportunity and potential. I think it widens the scope for what businesses can do. And I think every business, not just brick and mortar that want to shift, but every single individual that is doing business today needs to be doing an e-commerce component to their business.
Okay, because Stacey, you're getting me excited. No, and I'm saying, okay, you mentioned platforms. Can you get into a little bit of detail of what are some of the platforms available for an e-commerce website, an e-commerce platform, and which ones would you recommend?
Oh gosh, wow. Okay. So it depends on what you're selling, right? So what I will say is I will qualify. You should qualify the e-commerce platform that you use based on the type of business that. So if, for instance, you're an expert and you want to sell yourself as an expert, or you're a consultant, like an accountant or something like that, and you want to sell that, then this is now where you can use course platforms or coaching like platforms like Kajabi or Teachable or Strikingly. I personally use Kajabi, so my course that I'm getting ready to run will be on Kajabi. But that one is another one that is done with you, where most of the heavy lifting is already in place, and all you have to do is just add your pretty pictures and your words and content.
Okay.
If you're building a website and you want to do it from scratch, you can use Wix. Wix, as an example, also has templates that have an e-commerce part built onto it. So that's another lift and shift, very simple, easy for you to hop on. And there's lots more, but I know we have a couple persons waiting to speak.
Yeah.
So I'll save it for the boot camp.
So for our viewers who are just joining us, we have Stacey Hines, who is president of Jamaica Computer Society. And if you have been following and you're wondering, where do I get this information? The information is available in our weekly memo. We sent out a memo this week that's called e-commerce bootcamp. So all the information is available. Email us at sme@psoj.org or leave your email address below in the comments so that you are able to access the weekly memo. So Stacey has taken us through the consideration of what is my product and service? What is my business model? Do I have a demand for my product? How do I monetize it? What are the payment gateways? Is my business structured? Do I have a business structure that will allow me to be able to access a credit card, that will allow me to open a bank account so that I can actually receive these funds? And then she has mentioned some of the platforms that are available. And Stacey, just as we are wrapping up, when you are thinking of e-commerce, and I actually have, before I wrap up and forget, because I see Omar asking how to sign up for the boot camp. So can you give us a little bit of information of signing up for the boot camp, and we will drop it in our comments so that persons can see how to sign up.
Absolutely. It's very simple, actually. It's called Auto Bootcamp, and the OTO stands for offline to online. So it's really easy. Autobootcamp.com gives you all the information you need and tells you exactly what you can expect coming out of it. And one of the things that's a part of it is that I'll be doing one-on-one coaching for people. So as they implement something one week, the following week I am checking what worked. So you come out of the boot camp and it's not like you're just learning to learn. You are learning and applying it and getting your work check off. You know what I'm saying? The teacher check the work? Yes.
Properly done.
Auto Bootcamp.
So because we have Stacey Hines here, autobootcamp.com. You are able to sign up for her e-commerce bootcamp, which starts on June 27th. We're talking about moving from offline to online. Some of us are online, but we're not monetizing our online presence, and now is the time. We are seizing our power by ensuring that we have the economic means, and we are also spreading the innovation that we as a people possess, and we're going global. So we've gone through several weeks. We've talked about how you pivot your business. This is one method of pivoting your business, because we're not just going to lie down and let our businesses fall apart. We're getting up, we're restructuring, we're looking at our products and services, and now we're seeing how we can get it online. Stacey, thank you so much for joining us today. Stacey, President, Jamaica Computer Society. Stacey, if persons want to follow you, they can follow you on Instagram at Stacey Hines.
At I am Stacey Hines.
Yes. And for the information on Jamaica Computer Society, they are able to find that information where?
At my JCS.
At my JCS. So thank you very much, Stacey, for that information. And now we're going to move to another panelist who is a young man. You know, sometimes we read about the great innovators. We've read Bill Gates' story, Mark Zuckerberg. We know the Apple story, Steve Jobs. And as we are going through, we say to ourselves, do we have this kind of talent in Jamaica? We've heard from Stacey Hines. We recognize that the training is available, that we have the expertise right here. And we also have some young, innovative, fearless people. One of them is a gentleman called Craig Powe, who is the CEO of Adtelligent, and we like to call him the online business guru. Today, he is going to be sharing some very, very valuable tips on building your online presence, monetizing your online presence, utilizing, I'm putting out a pressure on him, utilizing your online presence to showcase your products and services. He is, in fact, one of our premier experts on this topic. And we just like to welcome at this time Craig Powe, who is the CEO of Adtelligent. So as we wait for Craig to join us, just to do a bit of recap. We talked about e-commerce. What is e-commerce? You know, sometimes we use these terms and we say to ourselves, what is this e-commerce business that we're talking about? So e-commerce is pretty much selling your products and services online. You have to ensure that your product is relevant and it has value and you're able to monetize it. Choose an easy payment method that can grow your business, and ensure that you are formalizing your business. get that business registered. And we will be doing a show on business registration. So while Craig gets set up, let's welcome Barrington McIntosh. No, let me tell you. So Barrington, very interesting business person, because I didn't personally know that we had a global Amazon consultant who is also CEO of Balance Ecom Training, Barrington McIntosh. And Balance Ecom Training offers a suite of results-driven e-commerce training programs to help you grow a successful and high profitable e-commerce business. In Q4 of 2012, Barrington and his wife took their Amazon business from zero to being in the top 25% of all sellers on Amazon for that holiday season. Since then, their store has only increased in success. So Barrington is going to be telling us a little bit about selling your products and services on Amazon and the other potential platforms that you're able to do this. And obviously, he knows what he's talking about. Welcome to Barrington McIntosh. Barrington, you're on mute. You know, want me to hear your nice voice.
There we go. There we go. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Barrington, you're a global Amazon consultant.
And you know, when you think about it, you know, just to recap, I grew up on Waltham Park Road, past my common entrance and got to Campion. Then I knew everything is possible. So you just have to put in the work. And once you put in the work, you're going to be recognized. And as you mentioned earlier, there's nothing that a Jamaican can do. I really believe that strongly. If we see the opportunity, we're going to grasp the opportunity and we're going to make it work no matter what. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. I'm truly happy you mentioned that. But I'm looking forward to sharing some insights with the audience on how to get, if they're a manufacturer and have a wonderful product, how do you get that product online? Because Jamaica has some of the best products out there.
So we viewers, we have Barrington Watson, and I said Barrington Watson, but I'm sure you get that a lot of time, Barrington McIntosh. So Barrington, and I think one of the things too that we've wanted to showcase on this product is what our Jamaicans are doing. So Barrington is a Jamaican, born and bred right here, went to primary school here, and I have to give a plug for the great Campion College, Ready Strong, Campionites. Yep. And he is now a global Amazon consultant. And sometimes, you know, when we look, we say, Barrington, you did get some opportunities on the way that must have opened this door for you. When a small business owner is now looking at you and saying, Barrington, how do I get my business on Amazon? How is that possible? Can you tell us a bit about that process and just give us a little insight on your own journey?
Well, first of all, to talk to small business owners, persons who are creators on the journey of getting onto Amazon, you know, the first thing you want to ask yourself, are my products export ready? That's the first thing. And remember, you're not just competing with persons in the pharmacy locally. It's now global. You're competing with hundreds of similar products around the world. So you have to ensure that your product is of the highest quality and that you're going to take care of your customers. You know, just going back to my story, I started, you know, my first sale was on eBay. And then I recognized, wow, you mean you can really sell something? So I decided I'm going to come back to Jamaica and I am going to look for products that I can bring onto Amazon. And just to give you a quick story, I went downtown and I saw a lady. She had a carved item. It was carved out of cedar. It was a fruit basket, but it was also a cutting board. And she said, sir, you can buy this from me? I said, hey, I have my camera, don't have no money right now, but let me just take some pictures. I went home, I listed that online. She was selling me the product for like $2.7. I sold it for $85. I came back and paid her $4,000 for that product. That was it. I was sold. My whole passion and drive now is how do I bring Jamaican products online to be exposed? Because we have some of the best products possible. The biggest obstacle, Amazon has like 212 countries that they'll approve to sell on their platform. And guess what, Rochelle? Jamaica is not one of them. We are not on that approved list. Regularly, that would be the end of the conversation. Persons would be like, well,
we get on it as a Jamaican then.
Excellent. That's the question. Now, two ways. You can either have your products sold to persons, Amazon sellers who are hungry for great products. They want to buy these products in bulk, by the pallets. You can either get in front of that audience, or you can partner with someone who is from an approved country. Approved country, America, Canada, UK, even Haiti. There are so many approved countries that all you have to do is partner with someone who is a citizen of that country, and then you're now able to run that business because you have partnered with someone who can open the store for you, put in the credentials, and you just set up a creative partnership where both of you are going to benefit, and you're off to the races.
And this is legal.
Legal. This is legal. You're not going to do anything around the corner with Amazon because they'll kick you off in a heartbeat. So you have to ensure that everything is set up properly. And once you do that, you now have your products being exposed to millions of people around the world. It is an amazing feeling to be sitting here in Jamaica and looking at the numbers going up because persons are searching for Jamaican products.
So Barrington and viewers, if you're just joining us, we have with us Barrington McIntosh, who is a global Amazon consultant. And some of you may have heard that Jamaica is not registered as an approved country on Amazon. And you may have said to yourself, that means that I will never be able to benefit from selling on that Amazon platform. And what Barrington has just broken down for us is that there are two ways that you can do it. You can partner with an existing Amazon seller, or you can partner with a citizen of a country that is an approved country, and that's all very legal. You just have to make sure in that partnership you have your proper arrangements in place. And as we have been talking Jamaican products, the brand Jamaica is so live and so big, and people want our products, and this is a mechanism for getting your products sold. So Barrington, is Amazon the best platform to use?
Right now, they are one of the best. They give you a global reach. So you can have your product. You can get that in front of an audience, North America, Europe, Australia, China. You can get that in front of an audience of persons who are, remember, Amazon has the trust of their consumers. So they'll go on and they'll buy it. We know, we buy on Amazon and we ship it to Jamaica. So we know that. And that is how Amazon's customers are. And guess what? They're not going to come to barter with you like, hey, take off $5. No, you place your product, premium prices, they're going to order. Once they love it, they'll just keep coming back and ordering over and over again. So that is what you want to do, capitalize on that opportunity. There are other sites out there. Walmart called us and they're like, hey, we want to get you guys on our platform. So we went on Walmart. There's Etsy, there's eBay, there's Shopify. There's so many platforms out there. And you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to go out there and say, hey, I'm going to do this from scratch, because guess what? Go where the hungry customers are. Put your products in front of the customers who have that wallet. They're going to take out the wallet and they're going to go ahead and make that order. And we know we buy products on Amazon every week and ship it to Jamaica. So we know the customers they love Amazon because of that trust factor.
Exactly. So Barrington, when you go and you excite our viewers that they can utilize Amazon, there's eBay available, there's Etsy. When I think I have a product and I'm thinking, and I'll just choose a simple product. I have a jam that's made from just delicious Jamaican guavas or delicious Jamaican mangoes. And I'm saying to myself, how do I sell this product on Amazon? You had talked about being export ready. Can we start from there? What does this export readiness mean?
All right, excellent question. What you need to do is to take advantage of the different agencies that are available locally. Your Bureau of Standard, your Jam Pro. They are going to let you know, hey, this is what you need to ensure that your product is of a standard that it can be exported. Mm-hmm. Once you have that done, you want to get great images that capture the essence of your product. I'm supposed to be eating your product just looking at the pictures. Once I have that, plus your ingredients list, and obviously you have to know whether or not that ingredient is accepted in the country that you want to sell. For example, cheese in the UK is a no-no. So if you go ahead and start to do a whole cheese business and you're going to send that to UK, that's a big block. You can't sell that. So you have to do some research ahead of time. And the great thing with Amazon is that you are able to research your product. You're able to see what it's selling for. So you're going to know right away, I need to be coming in, my costs need to be X amount. because I'm going to have to factor in my shipping. I'm going to have to factor in the Amazon fees. So you know ahead of time whether or not this is going to be a successful venture. So it's not where you have to do everything first and then you send it in and then you're like, oh, this didn't work. Right before you start, you can search on Amazon, look at what products are selling for. They give you a calculator.
So we lost Barrington there just for a moment, and Barrington is a global Amazon consultant. So he was telling us about getting your products on the Amazon platform for sale. He was actually delving now into how do you get yourself export ready. Jamaica is not an approved country for Amazon, but that will not hold us back because we are able to either one, partner with a citizen of an approved country, or two, we can, and I've forgotten two, old age. We can partner with an existing Amazon seller. And this particular point is very important because partnering with an existing Amazon seller, because Jamaica and brand Jamaica is such an exciting brand and people want our products and services, there are a plethora of Amazon sellers that will be interested in our products. And we're actually just delving in now in getting ourselves export ready. So Barrington, we've lost Barrington for a moment, but we're going to get Barrington back shortly. I think Craig is now here with us. Craig, are you here with us?
Hi, Rochelle, can you hear me?
I can hear you very well, Craig.
Fantastic, fantastic.
You're always troubling me that I'm, whenever we have to do any kind of technology thing, I'm always, oh, how does this work? And you're saying, don't be afraid of the technology. Today, sometimes we're having a bit of connectivity issue, all power for the course, power for the course.
Yes.
You're going to tell, because, some people are looking and they're saying, okay, we have to do these things online. How do I get myself set up? Stacey was telling us about setting up your business model, getting yourself formalized to actually get that business online. Barrington was telling us about utilizing the Amazon platform. And funnily enough, he touched on an area that I know you're going to look at. He was talking about how you present these products that you're going to sell, because everything is going to start visually. So Craig, can you tell us a little bit about the various platforms that are currently the online platforms, the social media platforms that are almost the base of starting that online business? What are the options available?
Yes. Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me on this show. Just a little fact that the company that I actually run produces this show. So this is the first time I'm actually on the show, and I feel really grateful to be here. And hi, Rochelle. It's thank you. So if anyone who's working the comments, if you could just list out the things that I'm going to say. The first thing is Google My Business, right? Second thing is LinkedIn. Third, Facebook. Fourth, Instagram. Fifth, YouTube. Sixth, Twitter. And seventh, Pinterest. Now, we're not going to go through all of them because they're not necessarily all relevant for businesses, but just want to have that list there. And I'm going to start with the first two being LinkedIn and Google My Business, because I think these are the most basic must-haves for everybody who has either a physical location. If you have a physical business, Google My Business, you have to be on it. And if you are a service person, like for example, I sell advertising, Rochelle is an amazing consultant. If you do not have a LinkedIn profile, you're not saying anything. If someone types in Craig Powe, the first thing I'm going to see is click on my LinkedIn profile and see if I actually have the prerequisite qualities that actually say I can do the job. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen for a second. So you can actually see what I'm doing. Okay. Can you put the screen up, somebody?
So Craig, those social media platforms that you mentioned, because I know LinkedIn is getting a lot more popular, but some persons had actually just seen LinkedIn, oh, that's a business one, that's boring. and haven't been capitalizing their LinkedIn presence. But funnily enough, you mentioned LinkedIn and Google My Business because
Yes.
those are essential business platforms.
Yes. So if you can see on the screen here, right? I'm going to start with a story. I recently was getting fat during this COVID cast thing. I mean, this whole COVID series. I was at home for what? We've been at home for about 2 months now. And I went to courts and I brought a whole home gym set and set it up in my house. And I was trying to figure out how to get protein. I went on Google and I clicked search buy protein powder. And the first thing that popped up was this store called Fitness Junkies JA. And literally, I clicked on it. And I'm showing what I did now. I looked on the pictures. I said, oh my God, these guys have so much protein. I must go to this store. Now, by the way, the storefront is behind Spick and Span. It's a nice store inside, but it's not in the most best location. I would never heard of this place unless I found it on Google. The owner himself, he works there. He set this thing up himself. Just took very simple pictures, if you can see. It was a really great experience. I brought maybe $30,000 worth of stuff from this person, just from it being on Google. Now, I'm saying that thing that he did, he set this up, what, 2 years ago, just being on Google, and I would have never, ever found him unless it was there. So that's why I said this thing is super basic. It's easy to do. I want to get everyone who is in Jamaica on this stream right now to register for this thing. Once you register for Google My Business, what happens is they're going to send you something in the mail, right? It takes about 2 weeks to come to your address. It comes through Natural Post. It's free, and it has a scan code where what you do is you take a picture of your phone with your phone of the scan code, and it confirms that your business is actually at that address. And the moment that you do this, you get some powerful benefits. I'm going to show you again on my screen, right? When you search Adtelligent, the first thing that you see is Adtelligent on the right with a picture of my team, our address, right? And that's because I'm now physically located at that place. Google knows I'm actually really there. And that's very powerful, because if you're typing in marketing or you're nearby my location, Google's going to show you the first place that's most relevant to you. So even though I have competitors here, Market Me Jamaica, Digital Global, these people are both friends of mine, right? If you're physically going to be nearer to my office, I'm going to pop up beforehand. And that's just because Google actually prefers things that are relevant to your location. So I just wanted to share that to you guys so you can see, because that's the first step in getting yourself on Google My Business, right? So if anyone, I'm going to say it one more time, if you're on this show, you have a physical store, right? A shop, you have a repair shop, you have a flower shop, you have any sort of thing that's selling something that someone needs to go to your store, please register by Google My Business. It is free. It is going to help. See, thank you, Julian. I'm so happy you're saying thank you so much. Okay, second thing, let's talk about LinkedIn. So I'm just doing the basics. Yes, most people are not taking advantage of LinkedIn, but there is a huge thing that can happen, right? So just to start off with myself, I'm CEO of Adtelligent, but turns out Adtelligent actually is a large multinational company that runs in the USA. So on LinkedIn, because I registered first, it says I'm CEO of maybe 300 plus people in the US, okay? Now, when you search my profile, you'll see a picture of me, you see where I went to university, you see some of my skill sets. That's the first thing people do when they meet you. They're going to Google your name. They're going to say, Rochelle Cameron, who is this? Now, Rochelle Cameron is very famous. So actually, even if she didn't put up a LinkedIn profile, she's going to have tons of newspaper articles. Most of us are not famous like Rochelle. And the best thing we can do for ourselves is look professional on our LinkedIn, which is to take that time, that one day, to write that description. If you have a son or your daughter, please ask them to read it and to say, does this reflect what you think of me, right? Is this how good I am? And it's going to make a huge, huge difference. Yes, Nardo, Google My Business works, but LinkedIn for service professionals, that works excellently. It's going to help you to create a track record. It's going to allow you to be able to, get extra clients. If you're a tutor, for example, and you're on LinkedIn and it shows that you went to a good university and that you've, studied X subjects, and that's all it says, you're way ahead of the person who has no profile. So that's the first two things. LinkedIn and Google My Business are not active things. You don't have to be managing it every single day. You can just one and done it. Set it up once. You don't have to put any more skills, but you're there. It's going to help you. So that's the first two things I really want to talk about, right?
Yeah. So viewers, if you're just joining us, we are here today for episode 11 of COVIDCASTJA, the e-commerce bootcamp. We're now joined by CEO of Adtelligent, Craig Powe, and he's talked to us about two of just the base platforms as business people that we need to be registering ourselves for. If you have a physical store, Google, repeat what it is, Google My Business.
Yes.
And I see Narada saying Google My Business definitely works. LinkedIn is a very popular site for people to search for you on a professional basis. And your LinkedIn profile is one of the first things that will come up in a Google search of you. Ensure, as Craig has said, that you have a professional photo, you have a proper description of what you do. If you're using it to showcase your business, which is what we're talking about today, ensure that there is the information about your business and that it will pop up. And we have several persons right here in Jamaica who are LinkedIn experts, and sometimes we have to make that investment in actually getting a professional to help us to get our online presence to look a little more, as we say, spruce up.
Yes,
So,
and I was going to say, companies have actually paid us before to write medium-sized to large corporates to write LinkedIn profiles for all of their executives to level up their status, right? So you can actually do that. If you could pay somebody. I mean, if I was me, I would just actually pay my own daughter or my son to write it if they have the time, and just have them interview me, or my nephew or my cousin. But if you need that help, you can pay people to write your LinkedIn profile, and they'll interview you and they'll put up everything, and it's just a one-stop thing.
Okay, and I see a question here from Ivadne. Ivadne says, great stuff. How do I join the PSOJ as a sales professional? Ivadne, you can actually join the PSOJ as an individual. I would welcome you to go to the PSOJ website to see the information for signing up. We are a very strong advocacy group, but also it's a great platform to network and get your products and services out there. It is one of Jamaica's, I think, one of the Caribbean's premier business associations. And this is one of the services that is being offered by PSOJ to business people across Jamaica. In fact, Craig, across the world.
Yes.
And if you wish to get our weekly memo, it is sme@psoj.org. So that we've had 11 episodes. So that means that we've had 11 memos detailing each of the topics. Please send us an email or drop your email in the comments. Jillian says, I helped my hairdresser set up on Google Maps and it helped her a lot. I didn't know about Google My Business though. Is it different? Craig, before we jump into the others, can you just answer that question?
Yes, and then we should go into the others because I know there's a lot more to cover. So it is slightly different, Jillian. So Google My Business. So Google actually has their own social media service type thing that never really worked out, which is called Google Plus. Google My Business is actually the subsection of that. Now, what this is like, you know, how Facebook has Facebook business pages. This is their equivalent of Facebook business pages. But the powerful thing about it is that it allows you to get reviews. It gives you statistics. For example, I know how many people search my website every week. Google can send me a free report. I can tell it's 400 people have searched it. It tells me that. It tells me how many people clicked on my link. It shows what pictures I'm seeing. It allows me to kind of take control, because on regular, if you don't have Google My Business, people can actually submit pictures of your place and say this is what the place looks like. You can actually now, you know, say that's not quite true. If someone leaves a negative review, you could say that's not true. You have a lot more power. So it's like, you know, it's equivalent of having a Facebook page, but for Google, and it connects into their whole database. And then now you're actually a place on the map. And when you see the map location, you're going to see the pictures, you're going to see the reviews, you're going to see the comments. So that's why it's a bit newer. It wasn't always around. So maybe when you set up the hairdresser, it might not have been there, but it's the thing to do now.
Yeah, and I have to mention that we are also joined online. I see him comment by Christopher Record, who is responsible for membership at the PSOJ. So notice him right there. You can follow him, and you can also DM. He says to DM the private sector organization of Jamaica. Thanks very much for that, Chris. Now, I have to tell you though,
those are good questions.
You're talking. you mentioned Facebook, and I'm saying to
Yes.
myself, oh, young man like Craig, I talk about Facebook. My nieces and nephews tell me that Facebook is for old people, but you keep mentioning Facebook. Facebook is still something that we're supposed to be using for business.
Yes. Okay. So one thing, this show happens on Facebook, right? And
Yes.
and this show at max maybe might get 40 to 100 live viewers, but afterwards it goes to 40,000 to maybe 100,000 people in Jamaica alone watching the show. That just shows Facebook is very relevant. Facebook has 1.6 million users every single month in Jamaica alone, right? Instagram only has 800,000. And so Facebook is still way more active than Instagram. And secondly, guys, you have to remember what people use Facebook for. Facebook is for sharing memories, having conversations, also looking at pictures. It's also for news. It's a mix of Twitter. It's a mix of Google because you're finding things on it. It's a mix of Instagram, but it's also WhatsApp because you're seeing stuff with your friends and family. Plus, it's for advertising. It's like it's the all-in-one tool. And the reason why you have to register on Facebook is because how Facebook is set up is the best setup for businesses possible. They give you all of these templates, right? So let's just start with the basic set thing for Facebook now, right? I'm a small business. I'm going to get much more bang for my buck if I set up a Facebook page and do nothing on it except for set it up properly once than setting up an Instagram page and just leaving it there, right? If I set up a Facebook page and it walks me through the setup to say, hey, what type of business are you? Are you a restaurant? Are you a shop? Are you a service thing? They actually have all these different options. They have templates, right? Then they're going to say, just choose some of the best pictures for this. They'll tell you how to do it. They have videos. And once you're done, you have your nice cover photo at the top. By the way, guys, for those who can't afford to pay a graphic designer, I'm going to link you guys to a website called www.canva.com. CANVA.com. It's a really good free graphic design tool that allows you guys to create very simple graphics that you can use to make your cover photo and profile picture, right? And now for everyone who has an iPhone and a Samsung Galaxy, your phone is great enough to take decent quality pictures to put it up there, right? Secondly, if you're a service business and you have set prices or your product business, Facebook allows you to list your products and list prices, which is very, very useful. Now, once you set up a Facebook page, right? Yes, Peter, Canva is great.
Facebook, and Jack Lloyd, we have seen your question. We're going to go back to the question, the difference between Google My Business and website SEO. So we have seen the question. So continue, Craig.
Yes. You see, Facebook is the most used social media platform in the world. Now, what happens when you actually list your page as Facebook, right? And put your page on Facebook and you put your name of your business. So let's say I say Adtelligent is on Facebook. What that actually does, it tells the World Wide Web, in terms of the search engine optimization thing that you're saying, that my business is, Facebook says that it is, let's say, an advertising business. That's giving it search engine authority. It's saying a really trusted website or source online, which is Facebook, says that Craig's business actually is this thing. That means I'm going to pop up way higher in the ranking for any of the search terms related to my business because Facebook says so. And that's very, very powerful. That's why putting your website on Facebook.com does a lot for you. It does a whole Now, because Facebook is also used as a search platform and people will type in restaurants or Japanese restaurants or other things like that. Like if I type in Japanese restaurants, you bet I'm going to find East Japanese. I'm probably going to find it faster than Sora because Sora might say Sora Sky Cuisine, unless they say Sora Sky Cuisine Japanese, right?
And because it's like selling fried chicken and rice and peas with curry goat gravy as a restaurant too, we want to ensure that all of our businesses are up there and available.
Of course. But what I'm saying is that just by putting it on Facebook, you remember Facebook also has a map feature too. And then you also be able to see the pictures. So I'm not talking about having active management or anything as hardcore as that. I'm talking about just setting up a profile. Like I want every Jamaican business to just be on Facebook, have your stamp, right? Now, once you're starting to get into active management, it's a bit different, right? Because you're going to need to actually have quality pictures. But I find for most things that are, let's say, beauty oriented, as in like picture pretty, that's where you can move on to Instagram now, because Instagram is a bit more complex, right? Because remember, I like maybe 10,000 different pages and fan stuff on Facebook. I'm not going to follow that many people. You have to actually be relevant to me consistently for me to follow you. So getting a follow on Instagram is way harder than getting a page like on Facebook, right? Because my follow means a lot. I don't want to be bombarded by your foolishness or your horrible quality pictures. But on Facebook, I can actually choose not to see that. I mostly see my friends and family when I'm on Facebook, unless you're using ads. So you can start to see the difference in usage. Now, remember, on Instagram, people aren't really talking. People are more, showing off about their life, showing their moments and commenting on each other's things. They're not really there to have a conversation. They're not really there to say 100,000 things or consume all this news. Is a different feeling. So your business actually has to look a bit different. Yes, you can do that. You can also make, like Facebook has so many powerful tools, but we'll get into that probably later about what you can do if you're a bit more advanced, because right now we just want to say, what are you doing if you're the basic, if you're a one-man shop, or if you have 5 employees. Now, if you have 5 employees, I'm going to ask you to buy a cell phone, or make sure your admin person or someone who's smart and young, a little bit savvy, gets a decent cell phone, take pictures. Imagine a flower shop just deciding to take pictures of every arrangement, or that hairdresser putting up pictures of before and after on Instagram. Very simple, right?
And Craig, before you go on, what Jillian Jackson has just mentioned, one thing I like that Facebook can do, you can program your FAQs on their Facebook Messenger chat, and a bot can answer your customers with them. So that's very, very useful. So Craig, I just want to look at a few questions, because we've had quite a mouthful. I'm just here thinking that, wow, I really have to look at how I have established my own online presence. Craig has mentioned Google My Business as an important mechanism for persons being able to locate your business. I saw a question from Kemoy. What if you're working from home but do not want to reveal your address? So Kemoy should probably more go on a Facebook platform.
Yeah, Facebook, LinkedIn, right? Because remember, if I type in, I don't know what your name of your business is, but let's just say it's I don't bodybuilding consultant. Yeah, something. If I Google that, at least you're gonna pop up on LinkedIn, so I can contact you through your email address, right?
Okay.
And so, because even if you don't have a physical storefront, you need to have some sort of place to receive people. And before you get to the email, you want somewhere where I can actually see. That's why a website is very important, which I think we're supposed to talk about later. But what I want to say, because I think I spent so much time on Facebook now, I want to just go to Instagram very quickly, which is...
Yeah, but before you go, I just want to answer a question from Jacqueline Coke-Lloyd. What is the difference between Google My Business and the website SEO?
Okay, guys, I'm just going to share my screen again. I think that's the best way to do it. So that's very easy. Okay. All right. Okay. Can you, Rochelle, is it on the screen?
No, but you can talk us through it too.
Okay, it's there now. All right. So I'm searching by protein powder Jamaica, right? So you see the top 3 things here, the thing that says Fitness Junkie, this is Google My Business, right? Now, the search engine optimization is who pops up first. It's actually Herbalife Jamaica. And then Fontana Pharmacy. Fontana Pharmacy is going to have a lot more users just coming on the website, so it's going to rank higher. But Fitness Junkie, Jay, who doesn't even have a website, is ahead of Fontana with all of their money, with all of their power, and Herbalife too, because he went on Google Business, because it actually has protein powders in the pictures and he's listed it. Google My Business ranks on top of search engine optimization because Google cares more about local businesses than anything else. When I type in Adtelligent, right? If you look here, you can see this competitor who is overseas, who has the same name as us, they're actually second to us in Jamaica because we're on Google My Business. If you weren't on Google My Business, right, we would be way below them. Google My Business allows you to go ahead, even though you're not the most search engine optimized website, because it's telling Google your physical location. That's the difference.
That's a great answer, Craig. Can you take us through, because you were telling us about Instagram, and you had also mentioned Twitter and YouTube.
Yes. Okay. So Instagram now. Instagram is definitely good if you have a visual business. So anything that can be shown to say better. So I'm a roofing company and the roofs look better. If I'm paving things and the paving looks better, right? Or if I'm a car body shop and the cars look better, anything that looks better. Now, a lawyer is going to have a hard time on Instagram because, a lawyer is not naturally visually appealing. So you probably have to hire a consultant to make it look cool, unless that's your personal.
It's pretty like me.
Yes, of course. That's you, and you're selling a brand. You're selling fun. You're selling cool. You're selling upness. It's different what you're selling, right? But a lawyer just going and saying, "I'm doing real estate law," that's not necessarily the same thing. A real estate agent is going to do great. I have a friend named Nina Johnson who posts every single day on Instagram, and it's consistent. I promise you, when I buy a house, it's going to be from her the first time. And that's because I see her working hard every day on her Instagram stories. That's a small business, right? Just like how a flower shop, which is one of my first clients ever, that's why I keep on mentioning, starts to post on Instagram, it makes a huge difference, right? You can't necessarily transit all types of businesses to Instagram unless you're a big corporate, you have the money to think through it. But for us, like imagine you have a nice cook shop, right? There's a guy named Andre Eats or Andre Cooks, something like that. He has a restaurant somewhere, but I saw his pictures and the food looks so great. This is just from Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he wasn't posting these visual things, I would not know about him. That's how you get customers. You start to post visual things, right? Before and after. A dentist, show the teeth cleaning. There's a dentist I know who puts the pictures of before the fillings and how it looks different. And also a dermatologist who is showing the acne scars gone and before. That's something that's going to work. Now, by the way, I might not follow you because I might not want to see that all the time. But if you do an ad, Instagram is pretty easy to run ads simply. Just click boost on it and you can put your credit card in there. You're going to get people to see and to react, right? So that
for professionals, because I know we do have some professionals online and they're wondering how they can optimize Instagram. And I know one things you usually advise is that where you have a business, so for example, if you're a lawyer or an accountant and you're able to provide tidbits of information, so for accountants to remind people that it's tax filing season, to get the business registered. So for that specific area of law, of accountancy, whatever kind of profession you are in, you can be offering to persons just visuals, and it may be that you put 2 points up with a bit of graphics, and know that they can look to you to get information. So there are still ways that you can visually present information. Of
course. And what I was saying is that it's just that that's a bit harder for someone who's running a business and doing a whole heap of things.
Because Instagram is visual.
Yeah. So you might have to hire somebody to think through those issues.
So for those of you who are just joining us, we have Craig Powe, who is CEO of Adtelligent. We have talked through Google My Business. We've looked at LinkedIn, very important platforms, in particular LinkedIn, to get your profile up on LinkedIn. We've talked about Facebook. We're now looking at Instagram. Remember, this video is going to be available on our Facebook page. Please like and share and comment. And anything that you see raised here, we are looking forward to your questions, because Craig is really giving us an energetic snapshot of what the online marketplace looks like. Craig,
let's move to YouTube, Rochelle.
YouTube, yeah.
Okay, so guys, Rochelle said something really good about Instagram earlier, about if you could share interesting tidbits. Now, this is where YouTube is really big. And I'm going to big up this guy. I think his company is called Fresh Panda, right? He makes like car wraps or something. I just found him last week. And he has been slowly chugging away, making content about wrapping cars and the cars of the owners and interviewing people. These videos all have 30,000 views. I'm not a customer of him, but he's showing useful information. He's looking at interiors of the cars. He's explaining his process. And just not as a customer, but it's a benefit to me. YouTube is a place for businesses. If you can share information that doesn't necessarily can benefit me, even if I don't come and buy from you, that's what's going to work. So for example, if you're a lawyer and you make a video that says how to get divorced in Jamaica, although we're not promoting divorce, and you have even 5,000 people watch that video, I promise you, you'll be the most talked about, the most gone to lawyer in the whole country.
Craig, that some of the professions don't really facilitate advertising in the same way. So just in case any of the associations write us. But I think the point Craig is making is that you can use YouTube for a soft sell. So rather than just pushing your product, you're actually providing information and almost building a trust relationship with what can be several thousand viewers. So Craig just mentioned somebody that he's now following, and when he's thinking of that kind of product, that's the first person that's going to come to mind to you.
Yes, and I actually know his name now, and I feel like I know this guy. I've never seen him before, and just from his YouTube, I've watched maybe four or so of his videos. So I've been with him for over 2 hours. That is the powerful thing about YouTube. I actually, for example, even this video right here, right? I could never speak to so many people at the same time. I just don't have the capacity. I can't mentally engage. It's not possible. But in this video that me and Rochelle are doing together, I'm here. When it's cut up and put on Facebook or YouTube later, and 10,000 people watch it afterwards, 10,000 people are going to feel like they know me. They know me, Craig Powe. They might say hi to me. They'll say, I want to do business with you because I'll seem like a nice guy. I'll seem intelligent. And I've added value to your life, even though I haven't sold you anything. And the amount of time it took me was only 30 to 40 minutes. So that's what YouTube does. It multiplies your best salesperson. It multiplies your technique. So when you decide to make a video, but make sure it's beneficial. Don't go deeply into your product unless you're explaining how to do something, right? So as I said, flower shop, how to surprise someone on Valentine's Day. Mention some other things that you don't necessarily sell, but talk about how flowers work and how it makes them feel good, right? If you're a DJ, how to make sure your party has good sound. I mean, the options are endless. If I'm even a plumber, right, and I talk about why your drain makes those clogging sounds, and I put that there. Do you know how much people will watch that video and say, "Oh my God, my drain is making those weird sounds," and then I'll call that plumber and I'll get him, right? That's real stuff. Or your dryer doesn't work. I mean, just simple things. Everybody can do it. We can do it with our phones now, right? It doesn't even have to be the most high quality production. Just do something short, and you'll be surprised at how many people will find you, and they will do business with you. Because I have actually met, people like my dude that fixed my dryer. I just found him on Google. I saw a little video. I said, "Whoa, he can fix a dryer." Same. That's kind of what it is. Now the difference with YouTube is that to be good at this, you have to be either consistent or you have to be willing to leave something there. And I would say for people who are not necessarily doing like a beneficial thing to somebody, you can actually still share an experience. So if you're a hotel or a restaurant and you say something like dining at Majestic, who, I live in Stony Hill, so it's a bit up there, dining at Majestic at night, or going to Jamaica Inn, who's a client of ours, right? You go to Jamaica and you show a video how nice the hotel property looks or something like that. That itself works too, right? So for an experience and you show like a massage parlor and it shows how it's nice, even though it doesn't necessarily benefit people if they don't go to that place, people still want to see a video in order to help them make a decision. So like BMW or a used car salesperson can, show off the car. It might not benefit me right away, but it will help me to make that decision. So I'll recommend YouTube for people who are doing that. And it has to be driven by a talented, somewhat not boring person. Remember, people are going to be watching you for 5 minutes, so you have to engage, right? So that's it with YouTube. And by the way, guys, if you don't actually want to do any of this, remember to just register your name on all platforms. Please do that. Adtelligent, as a marketing company, I made a mistake. I registered YouTube, I registered Facebook, I registered Instagram, but I did not register Twitter, right? And that's why I get into Twitter, because Twitter's hard. And someone else was able to take Twitter after us, right? Take our name. So just register your name, even if you're not planning on going on the platforms.
Okay. So Craig, before we wrap up, because time is drawing nigh, and this conversation has been so stimulating.
Yes.
And for our viewers, we had lost Barrington, but Barrington is back with us. So Nakada, we will share Barrington's information, but he's also going to take us back into the discussion of Amazon, which I think is very nicely from Craig telling us a little bit about websites.
Okay. So quick word for Twitter quickly, because everyone always asks me, should I go on it? Very hard for businesses to be successful on Twitter. Twitter is very heady. It's a very engaging thing. The people who are on it are looking for content that is very relevant to them. The only companies that I've seen do it very successfully are essential services that everyone has to be involved in. Flow, Digicel, as well as JPS. All the banks are going to be able to maintain following, even if they're not interesting, because you have to hear from them. But if you're a small business, it's going to be very, very hard for you to actually, keep engaged, unless you're a super smart, savvy person. The big companies in America who have interesting Twitters, like Wendy's, who, roast people online, they're paying someone $100,000 US, a very smart college grad, to actually do that type of work. So it's very hard for a small business to get up and be interesting. But what I can say is that for an entrepreneur like Rochelle, who is a savvy intellectual person, she herself can run a profile on her own Twitter and then about other stuff, not always her business, and then talk about her business there. That's the best way. So a chef, they can be, doing intellectual things, commenting on what's going on in the world right now, and then eventually say, look at this cake, and people will engage. Outside of that, it's a no-go, and it'll actually probably fail, and I wouldn't recommend it. Now, all other platforms, Pinterest, other things of that nature, not necessary. The main ones that I've said, which is Google My Business, LinkedIn, have to. Facebook, have to. Instagram, depending on your type of business. Twitter, very, very hard. But if you do those three, guys, you're good. Okay, on to websites. Now, this is very, very important. Most people in Jamaica, we have crap websites. We just do. I'm sorry to say that, we do. But here's the thing. Like Mr. Amazon guy was saying earlier, everybody in Jamaica goes on Amazon. Everybody in Jamaica actually knows how to use the top best websites. So it's hard for us as consumers to go on your website, which is crap, after coming on Amazon, which is amazing. So the competition isn't just what is in the country, it's actually what's overseas, which means that we have to actually be a little bit different in building our websites, right? Now, what do I mean by that? There's two types of websites that I've seen, right? Or sorry, three. Proper ones, which are more expensive. You're looking at anywhere between $400,000 minimum to about 1.3 million, which I'll explain why that is the case.
Jamaican dollars.
Jamaican, yes, for a small business. And foolishness, which is anywhere from $50,000 to 100 or 200,000. Anyone who's charging you that does not have the capacity internally to build a proper website for you. And finally, the very good do-it-yourself. I spent some time, or my son who is very interested, or my daughter who's interested, my niece who is interested, building a website on Wix, one-page website, right? So for example, I don't have any money and I'm interested, I'm energetic, yes. I will actually go on Wix, I'll do a template, I'll write up some stuff, and I'll build my own website. Very simple, only one page. If I try to do anything more, guys, it's not gonna work. Because I promise you, once you start to go 2-3 pages, it becomes too complex for you to handle, right? Okay, it seems I commented on the thing, which that's funny. So yes, guys, you can't actually build it. You can't build it by yourself. I find that so funny. You can't build it by yourself.
The website, you can either go the route where you spend money to build your website properly, proper pages and so on, proper links. You can, sometimes you end up spending some money, but you're not getting the quality website, but you can actually do it yourself and have a usable one-page website so people can actually find you and see your products.
Yes, exactly. If you buy a very, very good Toyota car, it is way better than you trying to buy something that is not what it is, right? Yeah. If you're trying to buy a BMW, go buy a BMW. If you're trying to buy something in between that is some weird broke up old car, don't do it. Just stick with your Toyota. You're gonna be so much happier.
Your website is actually important because I just want to at this point, I think it would be useful. So for viewers who are just joining us, we're having a fantastic discussion with Craig Powe, who is the CEO of Adtelligent. Craig says that basic Google My Business, LinkedIn, and Facebook must-haves. Instagram, depending on the kind of business you're in. Twitter takes some management. YouTube gives you a great presence, lots of viewers, but you have to be adding content to it. And there are ways of doing it in a way that you're really spreading your business. Now remember, we are talking about taking your business online, taking your business global. And that is also a great way of getting your business global. A lot of us, we will mention that you can find me at this website, and when people click on the website, you can't be found. There are ways to get your website done properly. You can pay for it and get a proper website done. You can pay for it and you don't get a good website. It's just built, but it's not even a website that can properly optimize. But you can also do it yourself. And what was it? Wix that you mentioned?
Wix. Okay, so I recommend Wix, right? Because Adtelligent is a partner with Wix. That means I actually use Wix to build our super professional websites, right? Wix has two versions, a simple version, which I'm talking about, and developer version, which can actually allow you to do all sorts of crazy functionality, right? And I use this. And by the way, Adtelligent gets paid lots of money to build websites on Wix. So it's a very, very solid platform. right? And it has two things. It has advanced stuff, which, by the way, our website that we built for a bank was featured in a conference in California as like the most amazing website this side of the hemisphere, which was crazy because only, by the way, only Jamaicans like us would think of pushing it so far, what the technology could do, right? Right? And why someone asked me, why is it foolishness? I'll just give you a real good example, right? Your website can actually make you look larger than you are. I have a website now, which is one page, same thing, built it ourselves, fresh out, right? And we're building a huge website now for Adtelligent that's going to release probably next month. Now, if I was to do that half thing in between, which is trying to be more, but it looks like crap, I would actually fail. I have people, lots of competitors, by the way, when we're doing bids, who have bigger websites, more pages than us, they lose the bid. Our website looks better because just one page is not trying to be much. Just like this shirt. This shirt is not trying to do much, but it looks nice. That's how it works, right? Now, no, seriously. Guys, when you go on a site, right, and you start to have all these pages, you have all this stuff, and links don't work, you're clicking on stuff, nothing is working, the pictures look lame, you have text, you have dummy text. I mean, there's so much things that you find because when these guys are building the sites for $100,000, $200,000, they actually don't have you, they don't actually have, they're not checking anything to see if it's correct. They're not checking spelling work. They're not doing this. They're not doing it with the love that you would do. Thank you for the comment. It is a nice shirt, very nice shirt. I said simple.
So simple. If I had asked that question, so pretty much what Craig is saying is that you really have to look as a small business, how are you going to get the best bang for your money? And you may actually be working with a $0 budget, and your $0 budget can still give you a good one-page website. You may say that I will use this time to do a proper investment. Do your background checks. Ensure that whoever you're paying to do your website, that you're seeing the work that they've done and you're getting a quality website to be able to sell your business.
I'm going to give you an example, Rochelle, quickly before we go
on, Craig, because we're going to bring back Barrington now, because Barrington didn't finish telling us about Amazon, and I know people know that they know the different online vehicles. They want to get back into that discussion of Amazon, and then we're going to bring back Stacy also to answer any questions. So please, any questions that you
Rochelle, have? I want to say something, guys. When you guys are off of this, I want you to go on and type in a website. It's called www.connex, KONNEXX.net. Now, the only reason why I want you to go and see this website, Dean Neville, the CEO of me, are good personal friends. I tell them their website, we built their company profile, we did all of their LinkedIn profiles. Connex's brand is crazy high right now. You can see all their trucks everywhere. People know them. That's because we did their website and their professional level looks up.
So Craig, thank you for that. And that was www.connex.com. Thank you for that.
.net.
And remember, sign up for our weekly memo.
Yes.
SME@psoj.org. In mentioning Connex a while ago, Craig just mentioned the .net. I didn't realize that you not only want to register the .com, you want to register the
I forget, guys. Go on Namecheap, www.namecheap.com to buy your domain. I personally buy them on Namecheap. I think it's better than GoDaddy, right? Because you don't have to do with the hosting. It's actually way more affordable. If you have an idea right now, please go buy your name on Namecheap.com. I get no benefit from this. I just know it's going to be good for you guys. Go on Namecheap. And if you're building your website on Wix, it gives you a free domain. So you can actually, so Wix is amazing and it's not expensive. So as I said, go there.
All right, so we're going to bring back Barrington. Barrington is back. So while we're getting Barrington back, we've been doing some polls. So one of our polls is, do you currently operate an online store? 19% responded yes. 81% no. I think after this program, we'll have that percentage will go up greatly. So, what is your motivation for learning more about e-commerce? Additional source of income, 39%. Grow my business, 57%. Lost my job, 0%. Just curious, 4%. Very interesting. So we see people wanting to grow their business and they also want additional sources of income. Then we look at what is the main social media platform you use to promote your online business. Facebook and Instagram, 88%. We're not surprised by that, Barrington.
No.
Other 12%. I see Twitter 0% and YouTube 0%. Based on what Craig just described, though, you may want to get some YouTube presence. Facebook is very, very important. We're not seeing LinkedIn here, and LinkedIn has been mentioned as one of the key platforms. And the last one is, which area does your online business need help with improving? Product development, 18%. Marketing and sales, 55%. Building an online store, 18%. Shipping, fulfillment, 9%. So now is the perfect time to bring you back on, Barrington, because this kind of takes us into operating something like an Amazon platform, partnering with somebody as an Amazon seller, or partnering with somebody overseas who is resident in somewhere that is an approved Amazon country. So can you tell us this shipping and fulfillment, because you mentioned earlier on knowing what your shipping costs are, and sometimes when we're doing the calculation to see if we will make a profit, we're not adding all of the things. Take us through some of the things that we need to be adding in.
All right, great question. Thanks to be back on. The glitches with the being home now, but that's good because the challenges help you to succeed. But you know what? When you have a product in Jamaica, let's say you make a great tea, and I can tell you teas are amazing now. Everybody goes back to basic because of the whole COVID thing. But if you make a great tea and you have 24 to the box, 48 to the box, right? Amazon has a program called Fulfillment by Amazon. What that means is when you tell them what you're going to send to them, they will tell you, okay, send 4 cases to Phoenix, send another 10 cases to Philadelphia. They are going to tell you where they want it. So once you send it in and it's received in their warehouses, it now becomes eligible for FBA, which is Fulfillment by Amazon and the Prime. Everybody buys Prime. Everybody wants to buy Prime. Because you're like, okay, the other merchant fulfill, it's there, but I want to get it tomorrow or today. So once you join Amazon's FBA program, they allow you to send products into their warehouses, and it's now available for Prime. The Prime buyers, they don't ask any question. If they like it, they just come click and get it tomorrow. So you now have to know, okay, what are my costs to send this item from Jamaica to Phoenix, from Jamaica to Philadelphia? Is it going to make sense? Now, there are 2 ways to ship out. A lot of persons don't know anything about the post office, and that is the biggest secret on the island, really.
Jamaica's post office?
You see how you reacted to that? You see how you reacted to that? The post office, Jamaica Post Office, they have a service called EMS, and it is Express Mail Service. What they do is they partner with the major carriers in US, Canada, and UK. So they take your packages and they get them into the United States Postal Service or into Canada Post or into Parcel Force. And what happens is they do the final leg of delivery. You get your products in there about 4 days. 4 days. Then they have another slower service that takes like 2 weeks or whatever. Wow. You can also, you know how passionate I am about this, because let's say I have a product and somebody comes online and they order my product. Here are my conversations. I sent some teas to this guy. He works on the USS John Stennis, and he's calling me. Listen, I need to have this in the morning, and you're shipping that from here to wherever he is. You understand how the products just go all over the world, and you're right here in Jamaica, the post office. So that is when you can use the post office with EMS to get it out. Now, if you have larger shipments, you can either use a cargo service out at the airport. You can use a cargo service, or we use DHL. Why? Because those larger shipments are going to need the customs entries to be filled out and the duties and whatever. They handle all of that for us. So what we do is we use DHL. Yes, they're a little bit more expensive, but they are really good. You can use FedEx, you can use UPS, but you have to work out your numbers. Okay. My cost on each item is going to be 50 cents. So I'm going to add that into my final pricing because Amazon is going to take out about 15% commission. So those are the 2 ways that we ship out, and you have to factor those in before you start selling, because the biggest mistake that persons make when they start is, oh, wow, this is a great opportunity. I'm going to get stuff out. But wait, you say we can make money doing this thing and I'm losing. You didn't factor in all your costs. So that is key. So those are the 2 shipping agencies that we use. And I'm telling you, no, a lot of persons are during the last 2 months, they're like, no business, no business. We couldn't sleep. We couldn't sleep because every day things just keep going.
So, Barrington, I think this is such a great point now. And viewers, we have 3 fantastic panelists. So we're going to actually bring Stacey Hines back on now too, and Craig Powe, because Stacey is actually the e-commerce bootcamp. So if you want to get e-commerce fit, Stacey is your lady. And Stacey, your program is launched on June 27th. You talk to us about the numbers. You are like, that's one of the biggest mistakes that we make. We don't know our numbers. Barrington just took us through even shipping costs. We get excited. Oh my gosh, I'm on Amazon. My product on Amazon. My boss. And we forget now that we have to get the product out of Jamaica overseas. Can you just give us a little snippet from your e-commerce bootcamp? When our viewers are seeing this, what can they expect to come and learn? And what tidbit of information would you give them right now as they prepare to come to your bootcamp?
All right. So first of all, I just want to say that I need to have Barrington and Craig come on to bootcamp because it's modular, right? So we have everybody coming on and teaching different lessons. Because the thing about it is, guys, is that it's one thing to get excited by the information that you're getting from Craig about all the different platforms and from Barrington about Amazon. But all of these platforms have fees, right? And if you have not done the front end work, so that's my main thing. Before you jump online, you want to do work up front for the business side of things. Because if you haven't done that piece, then you're going to end up on things like what I did, where I have several domain names and them renewing and I'm not using the page. Or you're going to have your things on Amazon. Like, can I tell you, I was one of those Gladys that was just like, Ray, I'm on Amazon now. Got my book on Amazon, got my Epic Intention cards on Amazon. And then I started to get the bills from Amazon. And it was like, oh, I never quite maxed out this part, right? So I think, guys, what I would say to you is that you definitely want to take advantage of the platforms, which is where Craig and Barrington spent a lot of their time and expertise, like shut, guys. And you want to make sure that you are really clear about why you're doing what you're doing and what the results are supposed to be when you're on the other end of that. Because if you go and you just start to set up, because entrepreneurs would like to do that, right? We set up this and we set up that. And then when the backlash comes now with the money, the collections, the taxes, we start stress out, right? So what you can expect to get from the bootcamp is the end to end. So we want to start at the beginning with what your business model canvas is, where you have the gaps, what you need to think about, right? So what mindset do I need to have when I'm doing this online thing? Because it's a different blend of thinking than it is offline, right? Yeah. And once I have that structure, now let's jump into the space of which one of the platforms am I going to be dedicating my time to? Like when we talked about YouTube, YouTube is a great platform, but suppose you can't stand video, right? That means that now maybe I'm more voice. Maybe I'll have to have a podcast that accompanies my products and services that I'm selling offline, right? Same thing with the website. Wix, Craig, I talked about Wix today too. Wix is wicked good if you want to do something that is easy and done for you. But suppose you want to invest in a proper good up website from the get-go. What is the budget you should be looking at? What are the costs you should be looking at? So we are going to be creating more of a holistic view of e-commerce, including the logical steps and the exciting pieces that you guys just heard about. Yeah.
Thanks for that, Stacey. And we have, of course, our global Amazon consultant. So we really have some experts, and it just pleases me that all our experts are Jamaicans, sharing with Jamaicans so that we can take the country even bigger. Barrington, I see a question here, which is for you. My brother wanted to get into Amazon reselling at the beginning of the year. Has COVID affected the shipping and overall business on Amazon? And I think you mentioned that your business has been on the up since COVID.
Yes, I mean, all of we have an online training for sellers around the world. And every single one of them had, 500% increase, 1,000% increase. All the numbers just spiked because what happened is Amazon became the go-to place for all your food, all the stuff that you need, essentials at home. What happened is the shipping into Amazon, they blocked anything but essential. So if your items are not essential, they don't want it at that point. Now they've released it and you can send anything in, but you only could ship in essentials. Grocery, Jamaican grocery, essential items. Rochelle, people will email and say, hey, how can I get some tin mackerel? I seriously need, are you selling? It pleases your heart to see that, hey, you can be here on an island and you're able to sell to persons across the globe. When I started with the UK, persons were like, no, we're working in the UK. No, I don't think it's going to work. UK, we cannot keep anything on. It's just flying. And you're thinking, wow, you just have to go out there and do it. But the key thing is, as was mentioned, you have to look at this as a business. It's not just running and you're going to make $1 billion tomorrow. You can, but you structure it properly. You put in the work. And once you take the appropriate action, you are going to see that you can sit right here in Jamaica and you can have a big business going online. And now you can expand. You can go to Walmart. You can go to Etsy. You can go to all these platforms. And Jamaican creators are some of the best with the carvings and all that kind of stuff. Amazon has a whole category for handmade. If you make things just with hand crochet and all that. For a crochet slippers, it's like $120. And people don't question it. They will just purchase it. And if you tag that with, listen, this is from Jamaica, you don't when you see a boat used to run, we just go and check the numbers because people are so passionate about Jamaican products. Listen, if I can't buy such items on online, I just need to get something Jamaican. I need to get something Jamaican. So we have to capitalize on it, take advantage of it.
We do. And it's amazing at this time. This is our 11th episode of COVIDcast. And one of the things is that we want to reignite the passion of our business people that notwithstanding the pandemic, there is so much opportunity that is available. And you three have presented so many opportunities. Craig, and I will give you the last word. Stacey is the pretty one, so I will just give you the last word as the young one. Yes, and Barrington is the shine-head one. So told us about her boot camp and about the front end of getting the business online. We've had Barrington tell us about actually operationalizing this online business with a real platform, the Amazon. Barrington, before we move on though, you mentioned you have a training and I think persons want to know how they can get involved in your training.
Yes, askbarrington.com. Just go ahead and jump on our mailing list and you will get connected with everything. So it's askbarrington.com. That's very simple. And you can follow me on Instagram at Barry_McIntosh. That way you can reach out. I have free 15-minute sessions to look at your business to say, hey, can I connect you with somebody who's great at hair products and have them sell your products? I can connect you with those folks. We have a network of like 15,000 online sellers that come for training every month. And where am I? I'm right here in Jamaica. And we have clients across the world that will connect and say, hey, I want to hear your accent. Talk Jamaican, talk Patois. We have such a powerful brand. We just have to capitalize and use it.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Barrington. So Craig, I see you getting super excited and I see the wheels in your head turning. And it's amazing for us to see our young people leading, being bold and stepping out with some solid businesses where they do their front end work, they actually execute and operationalize and provide a great product and service. And Craig is one of those people. Craig, as you've heard from Stacey and you've heard from Barrington, you've provided some great advice on platforms. I see all of the comments coming in, people gone on them LinkedIn right away to go look how them picture look. The people are now gone to register themselves on Facebook. As you're hearing the experiences of Stacey and Barrington, what would be your closing words to our viewers?
So one thing I want to mention earlier, Stacey had talked about collecting money, and there's a payment platform called First Atlantic Commerce, which I have here, which actually allows you to get the deposits directly into your Jamaican bank account. So I just want to let people know if that is an option when you're setting it up. Please ask for it from your provider who's building a website by name, right? That's the best way to get it done. Otherwise, with PayPal and those stuff, it takes a very long time for money to clear and to get into your actual bank account here in Jamaica. So that's my thing with the e-commerce stuff. Now, guys, I am begging you, really begging you to take this energy and to use it, because the energy that we have, it can drop off later and you won't get the results. And you come back and say, this thing didn't work. But if you do it half-heartedly, it's called First Atlantic Commerce, Julian. First Atlantic Commerce. So if you take this energy and then you kind of half-heartedly do it, you do your LinkedIn profile and don't put the profile picture up, you start the Wix website and you don't finish it, it's not going to work. Yes, for payments. Yes, guys.
We're going to put up
the
name.
Someone put up the name. Guys, we have to be able to do this. Take the energy. Be consistent. I've worked with people before, right, who make online stores. I won't say any names. Whenever they take the energy and post about their online store, they'll get 5 sales. But if they don't post about their online store, people who actually have online stores, they don't talk about it. They don't get any sales. So it shows you that we kind of, as Stacey says, we get Gladys to say, yeah, man, I'm doing something. And you start something and you just kind of stop. And you say, oh, it doesn't really work, guys. But if you don't actually push, then it's not going to work. Like, everybody who's in a business knows nothing is magically successful. Online isn't magically successful. But if you push, guys, you're going to get so much results. Your website is your hardest working employee. Let me stress that. Hardest working employee. It works harder than you. You cannot work for 24 hours. You cannot work for 7 days. I can only work 4 days a week, 5 days a week at max. My website, though, is working when I'm sleeping. It's working when I'm awake. It's working all in different countries. It can work in a different language. It's crazy how much stuff is working. And it is telling people about my business. It's talking to them gently. It's showing them nice pictures. It's taking messages for me. It's putting my best foot forward. It's making me look cool. It's making me look more professional. It's making me look richer than I am. It's doing so many things for me because you spent the time to do it, and it makes you money. So that's what I'm saying, guys. These platforms, it's different. It's a whole different thing than the original way of doing business in Jamaica. But it is the future. The few of us who are on it, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to share my screen one more time just to kind of show. So if you can bring it up here, right? This thing that I have on the screen is a heat map. And on this heat map, you can actually see where people's eyes actually look when they're going to search something. You see all these things here? These are ads. Nobody is actually looking at these ads, only the first 2 ads. Right here, the thing on Google My Business, that's where majority of the people actually look. This is a free thing I'm telling you guys to do, and most people in Jamaica haven't done it. And majority of the search viewers actually go to that free thing. So this dude who builds this website, who spent lots of time getting SEO, is not going to be as high up as this person here. That's that. Second thing I want to show, this is a report that I did for Grace, which we did, so I can show it. If you're looking at the stats right here, some businesses are actually growing in COVID. Food is growing through COVID, right? Anything that's food-based. Healthcare is going through COVID. Media is going through COVID. Pharma is going through COVID. Everything else is shrinking. But
things are, in fact, growing.
But some things are growing. If you guys are in this business and you're not doing it, it's not working. The next thing that I say in this is that there's a 44% increase of social media usage worldwide. This is in all countries. People are watching more news than ever. People are watching more Netflix, right? They're spending more time on Facebook and WhatsApp. And are you ready for this? Is a big thing. Less people are advertising than ever before because they have no money. So if you guys take the risk, right? I'm coming off you can go back.
So Craig,
you're going to win.
So Craig, we have to wrap up now. And just to capture what you said, we need to take this passion, not just watching this COVID cast today and then we let the passion kind of die down. We need to actually go and get it done, and it can be done. We have trainers here, we have experts, we have Stacey Hines. Stacey's running a boot camp, June 27th, mark that date. Barrington, askbarrington.com. And Barrington is using his website. Craig talked about it. Your website, work hard.
Big up Chris. He did it. He can do my business.
Working. So notwithstanding COVID, there are products and services that are being sold. Usage of social media is up, and it's not going to go down because what happens, this is now the way that we live. So we just want to thank our guests today. Our panelists have been amazing. And please, you can go back and watch this broadcast. I know you're going to have to go back. I see Jillian asking about the payment portal that Craig mentioned. So those who missed it, it's firstatlanticcommerce.com. And that did jump into my head immediately because me here said the money can come into your Jamaican account right away. But as Stacey mentioned, you have to have a business model. You have to have a business plan. You have to do the work up front. As Barrington mentioned, you have to be able to execute. Are you export ready? And the thing that made my eyes and my eye them big already, get even bigger, is knowing that we can use our very own Jamaica Post. Repeat, that was what's the name of the service again?
The name of the service is EMS.
EMS. Can we put that
mail service?
Express mail service. That's our very own Jamaica Post. So if you are just catching us, you can always watch this COVIDcast over again, episode 11, the e-commerce bootcamp. We've had Stacey Hines, president, Jamaica Computer Society and founder of Epic Transformation. Barrington McIntosh, CEO, Global Amazon Consultant, and he's CEO of Balance Ecom Training. And Craig Powe, CEO of Adtelligent. I'd just like to thank my guests. I am excited. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, wrapping up.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So we're going to wrap up now. And you know how it goes already. Sometimes when all the information coming at you, you say, oh gosh, I can't even remember what them did say. Don't worry about it. We're going to do a little recap. No. E-commerce. E-commerce is the way that we purchase products and services over the internet. Ensure that your product or service being offered is relevant and valued. Choose easy-to-use payment that can grow with your business. Formalize your business. And from the PSOJ standpoint, we have been pushing formalize your business, get your business registered. Social media. Facebook is useful for all types of businesses. Who knew? We thought it was only old people that use Facebook. Instagram is best for businesses with appealing visual content. Aim to post 3 times per week. Never sacrifice quality for quantity. LinkedIn is the best source for those offering professional services. Ensure you get a proper headshot done. Twitter is not ideal for small businesses unless you have somebody who is actually going to be following up the Twitter conversation. I think we have a slide, a visual for this. So guys, if you put it up for me, YouTube is a great platform for videos that inform how-to videos or offer advice. If you have a physical store, get registered on Google Maps. Send WhatsApp graphics that create the desire to buy and to forward WhatsApp graphics, because remember, WhatsApp is very interactive. Send your WhatsApp messages at appropriate times and ensure all the relevant information about your product or service is included. You're wondering, is this information available? Yes, it is. It's available SME@psoj.org. Email us. Websites, you know, all of us put up our websites and we don't do nothing with the website. Every company should invest in a website, even if it's a simple one-pager. Definitely needed if business is 100% online. Create your website in a way that is logical and easy to navigate for your customer. Protect your brand. Purchase your domain name and similar versions of it to ensure it doesn't get used by a competitor. Get the .com, get the .net, get the .org. Selling on Amazon. What have we learned? To sell on Amazon as a Jamaican, you can partner with an existing Amazon seller or partner with a relative who is a citizen of one of the authorized countries. Amazon offers exposure to a wide cross-section of customers who already trust the platform. Amazon also offers statistical data and other tools you will need to run your online store. If you make your own product, ensure you are registered with a relevant local bureau or regulatory body and have the appropriate labels and barcodes. Are you export ready? And make sure You know all your costs, including shipping and duty, before selling your product. For all the information that we have provided today, it's all put together in our weekly memo. Email us at sme@psoj.org. So thank you for joining us for another episode of COVIDcast. Next week, we're going to be talking about the very, very important issue of mental health. Mental health and well-being at this time as a business owner. Many persons have seen their businesses close, revenues dip to unprecedented levels. They've had to send employees home, and the stress has gotten overwhelming. Now that the work from home orders have been lifted, our employees are also going through anxiety. So we will have experts, and we are partnering with our association, the Medical Association of Jamaica, who is an associate member of the PSOJ, and they will be coming and sharing, members will be coming and sharing with us mechanisms to guard our minds and our mental health so that we are able to survive and come out, emerge on the other side of COVID with ourselves intact and also our businesses up and ready again. So join us next week for that very important discussion. Thank you for staying with us today. Thank you very much. Thank you to our panelists, Craig Powe, Stacey Hines, and Barrington McIntosh. And we will see you again next week. Remember, like, share, and comment on our videos. Please send in your questions. Email us at sme@psoj.org. Stay safe, stay well, and we will be back again next week. Thank you for joining us.